In this lesson, we will learn how to build a t-table and use a t-table to help us find an equation of a given situation. So let's consider the situation of tables at a wedding. Suppose the tables are triangular like we see here. And we want to establish that we are going to assume that only one person can sit at either table or either side. So if we have people can sit in these locations. Okay, so now we have our model there. Our model is something we've built or drawn to help us understand the situation. So what we'll do from here is we will draw a t-table, and a t-table will help us to make sense and see some patterns in this situation. So let's consider the amount of tables and the amount of people that can sit at those tables. So let's consider one table. We can clearly see that at one table we can have 3 people sitting. When we have 2 tables together, we assume that the sides have to touch, that they can't be individual, and we can see that 2 tables we can seat 4 people. And 3 tables together can seat 5 people. We can continue this pattern if we wish to find out 4, 5, etc. However, we can probably see that there's a pattern here. You see that the jump from 3 to 4 is a jump of 1, and the jump from 4 to 5 is a jump of 1. If the jump between each situation is the same, it's said to be a linear equation. So here we have a linear equation. Now, in order to find out and figure out our question, how many people or how many tables will it take to seat 168 people, I don't really want to be building that many tables to seat 168 people. So let's use the information we have here. We know that the amount of people that can sit in this at this wedding depends on the number of tables. And if we look at our information here, I'm going to use red to highlight some of our information. We notice that our jump is 1. So we assume that we're going to seat 1 person at every table. And the difference between 1 and 3 is 2. So we're going to say the number of people that can sit at the wedding is 1 for every table plus 2 more. Now let's take a look at that situation. Here's 1 at the table plus 2 more. Okay? Here's 1 at one table. Here's 1 at one table, 1 at one table, and 2 more. Here's 1 at one table, 1 at one table, 1 at one table, and 2 more. So we can see that our pattern matches what we've built in our diagrams. Okay, so now we can figure out how many people can sit at 20 tables. All we need to do is say the number of people is equal to 1 times 20 tables plus 2. And so that means the number of people equals 20 plus 2, and that means that 22 people can sit at that many tables. Now, let's consider how many people can sit. Let's go back to the question, figure out how many tables are needed for 168 people. Let's just make some room here and use our equation again. I'll write it in black this time. So we have our equation. The number of people is equal to 1 for every table plus 2. So we want to know how many tables do we need for 168 people is equal to 1 for every table plus 2. Now, using the rules of algebra, whatever you do to one side, you do to the other, we want to be able to isolate t. So let's subtract 2 from both sides. And we get 166 is equal to 1t. So now we know that the amount of tables we need is 166 tables in order to sit 168 people. Thank you.